Hello. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, ready na? Pasensya na, ha?
Ready na.
Medyo mahaba. Okay.
Ready na po, ma'am.
Oo. Bali, we are already here in coronavirus, COVID-19. And which one? We are here already in implication, duration, infection, transmission, sexual. Now, this is the sign for a COVID-19. COVID-19 disease. This is a feature of a person who had this COVID inflicted with COVID-19 patient. Tracking corona in human, usually there is a during the first day, there's two kinds of it's symptomatic and asymptomatic types of symptoms for a patient who have this COVID-19. Asymptomatic, which is there is no either signs and symptoms seen by the patient or by a person who have been infected with coronavirus. While there is asymptomatic, the patient have already feeling of some signs and symptoms. Now, during the onset of this, there is a onset for the no symptoms. There is a median incubation period with an infected person within 5 to 5.1 days, according to the study. It may even into 14 days without any symptoms. 27 days. Usually, this patient is negative. When you see they didn't represent any signs and symptoms of COVID test. Any signs, no headache, no fever, everything. But during the onset of symptoms, when the patient become positive, which is there is already fever, generally appears in the first day. It appear in the upper respiratory symptoms such as there is a cough, there is a sore throat that may appear by day 3. And 80% of the patient just get mild symptoms only. But at the 4th to 9th day, it's already in the lungs. This disease may reach in the lungs anywhere between 3 to 4 days. You labor already breathing. It's very hard already to breathe. It may start at 4 to 9 days. There is already inflammation of the lungs, may lead to acute respiratory distress. This can happen within 8 to 15 days. Usually, 14% of those infected person experience these severe symptoms. And then at the 8 to 15 days, it's already in the blood. From the lungs to the infected may move into blood. And it may cause to sepsis. Sepsis, there is already a systemic circulation of infected organism in our system. So it's already a life-threatening complication may develop by the end of the first week of the study that they said. This is 5% to those who are infected and may need to be ICU. According to them, that a standard precaution is they have to perform as a government also instructed us that we have to perform strict washing and respiratory hygiene. We have to wash our hand thoroughly with soap and clean our respiratory hygiene, such as we have to brush our teeth, we have to do gargle, and then we have to apply mask so that we could apply mask to suspected patient and isolate when it's possible. Also, tell to the patient to cover their nose, their mouth when coughing or sneezing. Perform hand hygiene after contact with respiratory secretion. When you are in contact with the patient or anyone who have this respiratory secretion, you have to wash your hands and don't, do the PP personal protective equipment. You have to wash. You have to have the mask. You have the eye protection, the gown, and the gloves. Prevent needle stick or sharp injury. You have because if you do that one, it may easily you are being contacted again immediately. So prevent by needle stick or sharpen. Once you use a needle, you have to put it in a sharpener container. Ensure safe waste management, environment cleaning, and sterilization equipment. When you are in contact with droplet precaution, place the patient in proper ventilate single room only. Do PPE with the patient in contact and when remove in living room. Use only single disposable equipment. If equipment must be shared, clean it with 70% ethyl alcohol in each patient use. Clean, disinfectant patient contact surface regularly. It is when it is airborne precaution, institute of any aerosol generating procedure. Use particular respirator. You have to use N95, FFP2, or equivalent to or equivalent. Don't PPE, and then perform procedure to a negative pressure room, and limit the number of people in the room to the minimum required to care for the support of the patient. Hello, you're still there?
Hello, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
1 minute, ha? I don't know why it's stopping. I put already the PPE. No, prevention is better because there is no cure for COVID-19. It's better when you feel any signs and symptoms, you have to go for the test because prevention is better than cure. Now, as you can see, there were so many people already infected as every day, daily. We have 500 plus patients daily added to the census for the COVID patient here. But you know, the recovery is also fast, and we are praying that we will having they will discover the vaccine for the COVID-19. And as we go through, the signs and symptoms of fever, cough, and difficulty of breathing. How it is spread? Coronavirus is by air, coughing, and sneezing, a close contact with the person, by touching or shaking hands, and touching one's mouth, nose, eyes, after touching that object with a virus on it. Now this one is about the respiratory for a newborn. For the newborn, it's not already applicable for us. Now, I just want to tell you about the characteristic of coronavirus. Coronavirus is spherical and helical. It's 200 to 200 millimeter in diameter, total RNA without segmentation, positive sense, surface antigen that are glycoprotein and nucleoprotein internally. Glycoprotein were characterized by E1 transmembrane and E2 adhesion to cell membrane. That's why ang target ng coronavirus is the glycoprotein and nucleoprotein that they are taking, so that the complication it will be abrupt. The complication may include severe by pneumonia, acute respiratory distress syndrome or ARDS, multiple organ failure, renal failure requiring dialysis, consumption, coagulopathy, and pericarditis. Meaning to say that renal failure, your kidney is not functioning that well already, so you need to do dialysis. Consumption of there is coagulation already of your blood in the system. There is already a problem within the cardio in the heart. The patient will experience, and the death rates varies by age, health, and sex. At age, usually the affected one is the old one, from 60 and above. And moderation, 50 to 59, it's in the moderate. And the youngest one, they have a greater chances to recover it. According to the health condition, also this coronavirus, there's a health condition that we very particular with this. If the patient having a high cardiovascular problem, that is the number one. When you're attacked by coronavirus, it may either it's a big problem, disease, and diabetes, respiratory disease, hypertension. Usually cardiovascular, if you have any heart problem, it's very hard also because you are already have a condition in your heart that you are taking care. Diabetes also, respiratory system, especially when you are also asthmatic patient, and hypertension. You have already maintenance medicine for you, so this is also a high risk. And usually, the high risk for the coronavirus is usually men. Men have a higher percentage of risk than female. Not right now, the one that I copy, but this is last March 6, 2020 details that the COVID-19 death rates in the countries confirmed that we have 100 cases. In US, it's about, the death rate is very high, 5.9, and then China, 3.8%. Italy is 3.8, Iran, 2.6, France, 1.6, Japan. I think this one is not updated. So we have the updated, that as we can see always in every day in our Facebook or any or in news. Intervention to slow the disease spread are critical. So, for nurses or any health team, there is a study that the one, if you are using a PPA or personal protective equipment, when you are using with protective measure, this is a lesser chances that you will be having you'll be infected. But if you are not without any protective measure in a healthcare system capacity, there is a high cases for you will be infected. So it's really a must for having a protective measures for ourselves, for us to live. The coronavirus has a protective measure that implemented to the public, such as maintaining social distance, avoid touching our nose, our eyes, our mouth. We have to wash our hands frequently. Practice respiratory hygiene. If you sneeze, you have to sneeze with onto your elbow, and we use with your tissue. And if you have any symptoms, seek for medical care at early stage, because at early stage it can still be preventive, better than curative. This is how it looks like, the personal preventive equipment that the health team using. There is a gown, there is a mask, gloves, and there is also everything, as you can see. And the visual, this is the visual guide for safety PPE. We need to have this face shield to protect our eyes, our goggles. We have the mask for us to the entry of the virus in our mouth, and the gown for us not to carry the gown, and the gloves, and the shoes also. Now we have to have this safety glass, respiratory protection, safety gloves, steel toe boots, safety helmet, ear protection, and high visibility, and strip out, so that if it will not be loosened. It is really fit. It may fit you out. And thank you. Thank you so much. Now we have finished already. We finished already our communicable disease. Later on, I will send to you the copy for this communicable disease. Sorry it took time because it's also very long. Actually, we make it shorten already for this communicable disease topic. And maybe by next week, we have bed making topic. Our topic is bed making, but I think we will send to you immediately the copy for the communicable disease, and the first topic is the developmental and hierarchy of needs, and the cultural diversified, and we will have a little quiz. Is it okay?
Kailan, ma'am?
Sa next meeting natin?
Oh, sige
I
po,
think
isend nyo lang
Friday.
po, ma'am, yung ano.
Oo. I'm going to send it, ha?
Bali, quiz lang po siya. Maiksi lang.
Quiz lang siya. Quiz lang
Oh.
siya. Oo.
Ano po, sa start po ng klase or after?
Start na lang?
Pag
Sa ano, umpisa pa lang?
Ano ba natin yun, ma'am?
Start na lang.
Hindi, I mean is 2 o'clock like that. Yung umpisa pa lang, mag-quiz na tayo.
Oo, mag-start na lang, mag-quiz na lang. Hindi naman ganun pag-igihin na lang sa final.
Sige po, ma'am.
Sige po. Sa
Gusto
first
ko lang
and second lesson yun, ma'am?
Ha?
Sa first and second lesson yun? Yung quiz?
Oo, first and second lesson. First and second lesson. Para
Huwag na munang quiz, ma'am.
mamaya ayusin ko lang itong slides ko. Pasensya na po. Sorry.
Send na lang po.
Kodigo, ma'am. Yung kodigo namin.
Oo. Okay lang.
Pati po yung
Yes,
unang topic dati.
naman, yan as you go for your work, if you have finished already the course, and then you will do the practical one. And then the practical one, it will help you to remember yung mga, hindi naman kailangan i-memorize yan. Pero sometimes it's always also common sense din yung mga ibang nasa diskarte din. Pero kailangan mo rin yan kasi at least may mga medical terms ka na you will do it, and yung mga ethical medical approaches that you will need for your profession. So, ayun lang po.
Sige po.
Sige, salamat po. Gusto ko lang
Sige po.
malaman, sino yung hindi ko nakausap ngayon? Sino yung, kumpleto ba tayo ngayon?
Meron pong isa yung si Mylene, ma'am.
Si Mylene, oo. Bali, ilan tayo? 8?
8
Ito?
po.
Hindi po siya nakasali.
Okay.
8 dapat
po.
kasi hindi po nakapag-join si Sister
Oo,
Mylene.
sige po. Pasensya na po, medyo mahaba yung at na-extend po yung natin, yung timing natin. At sorry
Late na rin tayo nag-start eh.
Oo.
Late.
Sorry po. Oo. At saka, nung nakaraan, hindi ko alam kung paano yung timing ko kasi na-pressure din po ako dun sa, na-pressure po ako dun sa, result ng namin. Actually, meron kaming nangyari, may kami, massive, lahat kami, tinest ng COVID. Nung nag-negative ako, may confirmation pa daw di nung 28 April. Tapos, may nag-positive sa amin. Yung positive sa amin, kasama namin, kadikit namin, sabay namin kumain. So, ang nangyari, pinaulit-ulit sa amin at saka naka-quarantine kami. And then, kahapon lang, lumabas nung nakaraan, lumabas yung result. It's negative. Thank you.
Hindi, kasi
hindi ako makapag-isip, hindi ako kaya late din ang paggawa ko nitong natin, topics natin. Thank you so much for bearing with me.
Ma'am Glo, pwede pong mag-PM ako sa inyo mamaya.
Sige.
Busy po ba kayo after?
Hindi, pasok. Wala akong pasok. There is no
May
class.
tatanong lang po
You could ask questions. You can PM me sa WhatsApp natin. And anytime, if any one of you have any
Sige po,
questions, you
salamat.
can ask me. Okay, thank you.
Sa ating lesson.
Salamat po, ma'am.
Okay. Be safe. God
Ingat.
bless.
God bless you.
Bye. I see.
Ay, natapos na ulit ang isang lesson. May quiz na sa Sabado.
Okay, bye.